Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the only referral podcast where you can get real stories of real people getting real referrals. Every week, we share inspiring stories and practical tips from people like you to take your repeat and referral business to the next level. I invite you to join our free private Facebook group. Go to joingengen.com. That's joingengen.com, and we'll add you to our referral group. I'm your host, Michael J. Maher, and I'm so excited to share today's episode with you. So let's get started. Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. What a great way to end the year and start a new year. And is there a better way to start a new year than talking to someone who started new in this year? Started in March and marched on to rising star status in just her first year of real estate. She is doing fantastic things. I can't wait to share this story with you. And guess what? Even you old curmudgeons, even you rising top producers, even you stars at the top of the world are going to learn from Megan today. I can't wait to share her story and share her strategies with you today so that you too can get more referrals. Before I do that, I need to give a big shout out to Charlene Bays. Charlene literally just wrote us recently. It says, "Happy Friday, Michael J. Maher. Yesterday afternoon, I attended an educational event at EKKO, Echo Title, in Northern Virginia. And during the discussion, I highly recommended your book, 7L, The 7 Levels of Communication. Several realtors were present. Hope you don't mind that I suggested purchasing your book on Amazon." Charlene, first and foremost, thank you for championing 7L in front of other agents. I absolutely appreciate that. Amazon is great. Go to thebookonreferrals.com. That'll take you to Amazon. It is, I don't care where you get the book. Just go get the book, start your career off or start your year off in the best way possible. But Charlene, thank you so much for being a champion. Thank you so much for being an ambassador. Just really appreciate that, regardless of outcome from any of that. Please know how much I appreciate the opportunity. So thank you, Charlene. And for those of you that are considering getting off to the right start this year, we have 30 mornings and time mastery class that are both going on this month. 30 mornings starts on January 6th and time mastery class starts next week as well. It gives you a great opportunity to get your schedule perfect for the year and get your morning ritual established for the year. Two really important rituals and habits and time blocking habit strategies ready for you. And guess what? If you go sign up for the classes, you can sign up for $497. It's great. Go sign up. But guess what? You can get both of those plus 2 free live masterminds with me every month for less than $100 a month. Referralmasteryacademy.com is your ticket to both those mastery classes this month and those 2 live masterminds with me, plus a lot of other good stuff that I don't have time to share now. But go to referralmasteryacademy.com to sign up today. We'd love to have you. Now, speaking of people that we love to have Megan Speir on today. Today, we have a guest whose story is a testament to what's possible when you combine determination and implementation with the right tools and strategies. Megan Speir is a realtor from Lake Jackson, Texas, who just earned her real estate license in April of this year. Megan's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. She joined the Referral Mastery Academy, took the lessons to heart, and with Event Mastery became a true game changer and a leader in her community. By implementing what she learned, she's proven that you don't have to wait years to achieve success in real estate. You just need the right mindset, the right system, and a willingness to take action. Today, we're diving into Megan's story, how she got started, how she overcame those challenges, and how she's using events to build a thriving business. If you're a new agent or someone looking to reignite your year or your career, this episode is for you. let's please give a warm welcome to Megan Speir. Megan Speir, welcome to Referrals Podcast.
I still can't believe that this is happening. I cannot believe this is happening. So I am honored and humbled to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Now, you listen to Referrals Podcast regularly, don't you?
I do. That's what I was just saying. I just saw your face this morning and I was listening to, I think it was episode number 4. And I was like, oh my gosh, which is why whenever I got the email to be asked on to do this, I was just like, I just saw you. How is this happening?
Well, that's one of the things I love is how Referrals Podcast has become a part of our ecosystem in that it's a way to reward the members who implement, right? And it's like it's become sometimes I say that we take the ordinary person who's implementing and help them have this extraordinary experience of fame, right? So there's some fame. There's a lot of people who watch and listen to Referrals Podcast, and I love like making you famous. I love, you're going to be famous in your neighborhood, in your area, in your
Yay.
office, and there's just a great thing with that. And how do you get on Referrals Podcast? You got to implement. This
Mhm.
isn't about somebody who talks good, who speaks well, who honestly is a BSer. We know your numbers. We know your stats. We know, what you've done. And there's authors of books who have never done what they write in the books. And that's not who we're going to have on. We're going to have on people who are literally, they're learning, they're implementing, they're failing, they're evaluating, they're getting referrals, and it's real people, real stories. It's real referrals. So you are that, and you epitomize that. You also bring up that you were listening to, one of our first episodes. I have to say, Referrals Podcast viewers and listeners are in for a real treat. Tomorrow, we start the 7 days of the new year. So we are actually doing 7 podcasts in a row starting tomorrow that are literally the centerpiece of the referral mastery system.
Wow.
So everything from the answer to everything to how to build a relationship, like it's like if I were going to listen to 7 podcasts to start every year, we just put them in
Awesome.
7 straight days. So that
Awesome.
literally starts tomorrow. So hopefully everybody will check that out and join us for that. And yes, if you haven't listened to episodes 1 through 10 of the podcast, go back and listen. If
So
you
good.
haven't listened to the Answer to Everything, a 2-part series that I did, make sure you do it. But here's the thing, you don't have to worry about that because we're actually going to line them up for you starting tomorrow. So anyway,
Awesome.
love that. All right. So Megan, tell us how you got started in real estate or what inspired you to become a realtor.
So, Michael, I have to be honest with you, which I mean, obviously, you wouldn't expect anything else.
Well, it's fine to
Um,
lie to me later, right? So just let's stick with honesty this entire episode, and
yeah,
then like we can do the other stuff later. So
yeah. So, actually, my husband, he's ever since we met in high school, he's always been the like on our date nights or like our date, if it was during the weekend, we would just go to open houses. He was really into real estate. I couldn't care two cents about it. My thing was teaching. So my background and my experience as a bilingual teacher, I taught in the school district here, our local school district here for 10 years.
mm,
I did pre-K, third grade, fourth grade. They were all bilingual. So my
wow.
thing was the classroom. It was comfortable. I knew what I was doing. I liked what I was doing. And about 3 years ago, he asked me, he was like, do you think you can pray about being in real estate? And I honestly told him, no, I don't want to pray about it because if God tells me I have to do it, then that means I have to do it.
Right,
So
right.
for 3 years, I didn't do it. I didn't pray about it. I didn't even ask if I needed to do it. So last year, we went to a marriage conference in October, and I had actually been praying about it since August. And it was very clear that the decision had to be made. So I resigned in December last year.
Mm,
And I took the plunge. I took my real estate classes starting in January, and I actually got my license March 9th. And then I started Refer Co in April. So
wow.
it's just been very, very fast, but that's what got me started. It was a call to obedience, if you will.
Yeah. That's amazing how similar our stories are. I was a teacher for 4 years and got into real estate a little bit kicking and screaming as well. Uh, well, kind of just did it to learn a little bit about investing in real estate. Of course, we all know that you don't learn anything about investing in real estate from the classes or the
No,
test.
no,
Um, but what I saw, and maybe you feel the same way, is it's just another form of teaching
it is. And
because
that's
we're
what I love
teaching.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what do you love about the whole aspect that, man, real estate is like teaching, and we all know that former teachers tend to make really good realtors.
I think it's because we like the process and the procedure. If you have a good process and a good procedure, which I am very thankful for, and I'll get into that, but I'm very thankful for my mentor, my brokerage. But as a teacher, it's like give me the standards and I will put those into practice and I'll put my own spin on creativity about it. Well, with real estate, it's you're able to speak to the different buyer. And just as the same in the classroom, you have to be able to capture the heart of the students and their learning style. With the buyer or with the seller, you have to learn their style. What is their style? And build that relationship with them. And what I love about the real estate side of it is my niche, if you will, is first time home buyers and of course bilingual clients. Because coming from a different country, they don't understand the real estate process here. They don't, how do I get my foot in the door? Who do I even talk to? What documents do I need to have? And I know that for most people, the general consensus, like that's something that you can just Google. Well, if you talk to someone from a different country,
Yeah,
that's a different language in and of itself.
right.
But being able to literally take them by the hand, start to finish, from getting approved to getting the keys, it's been absolutely one of the most rewarding experiences I've been able to have.
Yeah, I love it. And we teach them how to make a great investment.
Mhm.
We teach them, and we also have this power to guard them from the evils that be, so to speak, because there are the evils that be in the real estate world, in every world, every profession has it. But, in our world, this is the biggest investment
Mhm.
for most of the people that we work with. So, teaching, training, overseeing, and I think one big thing that you see from teachers is that they care more about the person than the transaction. They care about the
100%.
person more about than the money. The money is just a byproduct to serving the people. And then compared to our teaching salary, the money's better. So
Yeah,
we're getting emotional and internal reward by the helping and the caring, but
yeah,
we're also getting more extrinsic and external reward through, kind of getting paid more of what we're worth
right.
than when we were teaching, or at least
Well,
that's what I experienced.
and with a lot of, I say a lot, with I've had three clients now that it has completely changed their family trajectory. So I have two first generation home buyers,
Mm,
and to see the reaction of them knowing that I'm closing on a X amount house. I mean, it's not even the amount, but I'm getting a brick and mortar home in a subdivision. And it's just, I mean, to see that and to know that I got to be part of that process, it's like seeing a student learn English for the first time and being able
wow.
to write a sentence in English. I mean, it's literally been a beautiful transition that the Lord's allowed me to just kind of walk into. But
Mhm.
again, it's complete dependence on him getting me through the process and understanding it because it is a new language. Real estate's a new language. I had to learn laws, I had to learn the contracts, I had to learn deadlines. So it is a new language, but just in that aspect, but it's been so much, so filled with grace. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. The word grace has come up in like our last four podcasts in a row. It's been very interesting to see like these repeat words, and I truly believe there's a lot of grace in what we teach. It's love, generosity, and appreciation, and it seems like when you build your business based off love, generosity, and appreciation, something that comes out is a grace, and it's not. It's there's like three terms of grace, right? There's a grace for yourself, like
mhm.
have some grace, like give yourself some grace and know you're not going to be perfect. And the other one is the grace of others, and realizing they're not going to be perfect, and they're just, there's just this internal soul that everyone has. And then there's grace as in like the a dance looks graceful.
Mhm.
And there is this is a beautiful business
It
when
is.
it's truly just rolling out of you, and just, I don't know, it's just when you're running your business on love, generosity, and appreciation, it is a business of grace, and it has a grace to it. you know?
Well, and I think of the actual definition of grace, like what I've been taught, and it's unmerited favor.
Hmm.
And so I have received unmerited favor. I don't deserve the clients that that
Mm,
the Lord is entrusting to me. I don't deserve the referrals. I don't deserve those things because I'm a human. I'm going to make mistakes. But understanding the grace that the Lord's given me to be able to walk through this new journey,
yeah.
it's been unmerited favor on the client side, and it's unmerited favor on the Lord's side. It's been a beautiful thing.
Wow. Well, I have never heard grace defined as unmerited. What unmerited? Say it again.
Favor, unmerited
Unmerited.
favor.
Okay. So I just want you to know. All right. So I'm going to push back on that one a little bit. Only from, I mean, because here's the thing. I've never seen a referral happen by accident, or it's very rare when you see a referral that's unmerited, right?
Yeah.
So you do deserve it. And so why do you deserve it? And here's the thing, a lot of people do get into this, you know, do I deserve referrals? Well, how do you deserve something? And you as a bilingual teacher can play with me on this one. Let's talk about the power of words.
Okay.
So deserve. If we break that into its two parts, it's day,
Mhm.
serve,
Serve.
day, serve. Now, what's day in Spanish?
From.
Or
From.
for, so it's from, or could it be of,
Yes. I mean, yes.
right? So
Yeah.
day, or it's from or of, and then serve
Yes.
is service,
Right.
right? So how do we deserve more? We serve more. How
Yes.
do we deserve more? We're of service, where we are. And so you had to be of service to get these clients. And I would say it is merited favor. Now, where you go with that
Yes.
is okay, right? I
Yeah.
mean, strongly humility, humbleness position, you could say unmerited favor.
Yeah.
But it's not unmerited. They work with you because of a reason. You
Yes.
merited it. You deserved it. You deserved it, because if you hadn't deserved it, you wouldn't have got it.
Okay.
And so just know that
Thanks,
that's
coach.
what.
Thanks, coach.
There you go. Just go with
Yes.
it. And
Yes.
and yeah, you serve to deserve, right? And that is a big thing for a lot of people, is I don't deserve referrals. And it's like, you do deserve referrals, right? It's like, so how do you? It's be of service. And that goes all the way back to, people are like I want to be the most referred professional in my community. It's like, okay. Then they're like, how do I become the most referred professional in my community? The most referred professional in your community is the most generous professional in your community.
Very true.
Right? If you want to be the most referred, be the most generous, because generous means of service. You're serving, and you're serve, and you, guess what? You serve to deserve. And the more generous you are, the more that reciprocity is going to kick in, and reciprocity is going to lead to referrals and opportunities. So it really does kind of all come together and paint together. And trust me, the people that are coming to you are not doing it to do you a favor. Would you agree? Like, you know
Yeah.
what? I feel really bad about Megan. I'm going to go make the biggest financial investment of my life with, just because, you know what? I really feel bad for Megan.
Oh
I
man.
feel like she deserves some unmerited favor today. So I'm going to go, no, they work with you because you care, you're looking
Yeah.
out for them,
Yes.
you're competent, and you have high character, right?
Okay.
So, and you're going to take care of them.
I
So,
am.
and so I think you do this business with grace, and it means more than unmerited favor, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
all right. So you
Okay.
started in March, you got licensed March 9th. You're ready to tackle the world. You
Oh
just
man.
cut the umbilical cord from teaching. You're gone, right? You
Oh.
are floating. You are on your own. All right. So how did you first hear about the Referral Mastery Academy?
So I have to give a huge shout out to my broker. So one of the questions that I was, processing is if you could give some advice, and we'll get there. But I will say this: I interviewed 7 brokerages while I was in real estate school because I know what I wanted to stand for, like, and I knew what meant a lot to me, and I knew what I wanted to be associated with. So I interviewed 7 different brokerages within Brazoria County, within the area. And when I went to American Realty with Kim Beebe, she was, and I knew of her because she's been part of it for she's been part of the real estate for a long time. But I knew what she stood for, and I knew just what American Realty was about. And so, how did I first hear about RMA? Kim was actually hosting, she had a Zoom, she was having a Zoom call, and you were on the call. And I was like, man, I really like that guy. He's, he's bubbly, he's fun, he's easy to listen to. I think I'll come to the next one. And so the next one, I sat in on, and that was with Carla. I cannot say her name, but I just call her Coach Carla. But it starts with an R. And I made the comment, your eyes are so captivating. And it wasn't just her eyes, but it was really her persona. And so I was like, I want to get in with these people. They're excited about what they do, and they're here for you. They're there for you. Not everyone's for you. Whenever you're in a business, you have to understand not everyone is for you. And so what I loved about RMA was that it felt like an extension of American Realty. It felt like another family. And since then, with group coaching, and just meeting you in person, being able to go to Atlanta, even though we didn't get to stay, but I'm looking forward to March. Getting to meet you in Atlanta, it was as if I had already known you for years. So it was just an extension. It was the genuine heart behind everyone talking. And of course, I just saw what Kim was doing. Kim had implemented the Love You a Latte. And then I kept hearing about this pie event that was coming in November. And I had no idea what that was talking about, all these events and the excitement. And because of how I grew up, I was like, I want in on that train. I want to do it. I want to do everything. And my husband very quickly told me, he was like, babe, we can do anything, but we can't do everything.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
that's how I heard about it. So walking into Kim Beebe's office and getting to meet you on a Zoom call.
Yeah. So shout out to Kim Beebe. She's a valuable member of the generosity generation and has been for quite some time. She's not just a valuable member. She's a leader and an ambassador and client as well. And shout out to Carla Roberdeau as well. Just heard her on the previous podcast not too long ago, and she's also teaching time mastery coming up, and is also one of our coaches.
Love her. Love Coach
And
Carla.
not, and you're exactly right with I don't know if I've ever noticed the awesome eyes, but she's one of those where you're right, is that she's angelic in the way that she presents, right? Her soul is all about you, and she is, you're right. She's there to care and help you. And
I was captivated. The moment I saw her on the big screen, I was captivated. I was like, I want to meet her. I want to have coffee with her. And when I got to hug her, when I hugged you both in Atlanta, I stared at my phone on the airplane on my way back. Like, I can't believe I just met them. Because most people that you think are like, you're a celebrity to me. You're a celebrity in our office. And it's like, as a matter of fact, I want to go on this real quick. When I first started listening to the podcast, just last week, I said to myself, Lord, it would be really cool when I get to tell my story. Eventually, and if it's this side of heaven, great. If it's not, then at least I'll leave a legacy. And then I got the email from Sherry. I called my husband crying. I was like, I don't know this happened. I don't know. But anyway, you guys have made a great impact on me.
Well, you've earned it. You deserve it. I can't wait to unpack more of why that is. And here's the other thing you got to promise, right? Is this is not the end all be all. This is, we're sharing your story now. This is the beginning of Megan Speir's story, and we're going to have you on next year. And it's like, this is where she's at a year later. And let's talk about that trajectory of your story, of your life, and of where you're going. And let's just promise to meet every December and talk about like what you've accomplished and how much you've implemented, because that's the key to all this, right?
Yeah, I want to be Michelle from 7L.
There you go. Michelle Phillips or Rick Masters, right? So either one would be great. All right. So what made you decide to join Referral Mastery Academy in the beginning?
I knew that I had no idea what I was doing. I knew I wanted to be on the event train. I heard the word event and I was like, oh, I can do that. I'm a people person. I'm a high I. I don't mind being the center of attention. Like that's me. That's totally me. I was like, let's do it. And then immediately I was like, but I don't have the skills or the organizational skills. I don't even know how to start. The word sponsor was foreign.
Mhm.
The power notes, especially when we did November just now, last month, the concept of keeping connections and making connections, that was foreign, only because my connections were 8 and 9 year olds in a
Right.
room
Right. Yeah.
and my teaching family. And so really being able to put yourself out there. So the events thing really caught my attention, and I loved the structure. So, and I have these things here, but one of the biggest things for me was procedure, right? And
Mhm.
structure. So being part of RMA, I heard and I saw these examples on the screen when I was joining in with Kim. And I was like, how do you get that? I want those. I need direction. I need organization. I need a plan, because I didn't have a plan. And that was really the thing that kind of spurred me to go get into it and to try to understand, how can I financially plan to be part of this and to make this happen. And I just remember coming home and having a conversation with my husband. I was like, I'm getting a coach. I'm going to be part of this academy. And he was like, what is it going to do? What's it for? And
Mhm.
I was like, it's going to give me a plan. It's going to give me structure. I get to plan events. I get to network. And all he heard was wah, 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 wah,
Yeah. He heard it's this much a month.
Yes. But I
Yeah.
got in on, anyway, it was a
Yeah.
blessing. We'll just say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, but I say all that to say the reason why I joined was, for me, it was the idea of being able to host events to where I didn't have to go to the people would come to me. And
Yeah.
that was one thing that Carla said. She was like, I was doing pop buys like popcorn.
Mhm.
I did salon pop buys. I didn't even know what a pop buy was.
Yeah.
But I mean, just those things and hearing them, the real estate jargon is like in the same branch as education jargon. I was like, what is a pop by? And it's
Mhm.
literally where you're putting yourself out there to these networking possibilities and outreaches and different things. And it was like, no, let's just have people come here. Let's do an event. And then Kim started telling me about her Love You Latte event, what it looked like, what she was planning for. And I was like, I can do that. I want to do that. And so for me, it was hearing about the events and how to make those happen in an organized way. And there's a process. There's a process to it. And you can teach me how to do it. Yeah, I'm in.
Heck yeah, there's a system, right?
Yes.
If it's in referral mastery system, there's a system for it. So,
Yes.
all right. So you've credited event mastery class as a real game changer for you. And you've been through a couple of those classes. You went through our summer event mastery class and our fall event mastery class. So what kind of events have you hosted and what did you get from them?
So I've had two. The first one that I did was Harvest Spice Bring Something Nice, or Harvest Spice Give Something Nice. And so I worked with Carla on that. And the whole purpose of that was to kind of let people know that I was a realtor, put myself out there, remind everyone that I'm out of the classroom now, that I'm in real estate. And so with that, I partnered with a local coffee shop that I had actually already done like an interview podcast with. And I asked, how can we make this work? And then Carla was the one that started telling me, okay, now we need to get sponsors. And this is what she used, the word partnerships. You want to get
Yep.
partnerships with different people in the community. And so she trained me on how to do that. We walked through, this is the time frame. There's even a time frame to make calls and write notes and emails and all the things, which I was eaten up with how organized everything was because it was executed so well. And I had a great turnout. I want to say I had roughly 43 people come, which for my first event was a big deal for me because I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that many people to come.
Yeah.
Um,
And you had some sponsors too, right?
Yes, the only thing I paid for out of pocket was $4.32. And that was because that was someone that just happened to walk in and I had a little bit of money left over on the card to buy coffee. And I was like, hey, she was like, what's happening? Who are you? Like, because I had, things all set up. And I was like, well, I'm Megan, I'm a realtor, and let me buy you coffee. And she was like, what else do I, because she saw gifts on the table. She was like,
Yeah.
what is this? And I was like, oh, would you like to enter a drawing? She was like, well, I don't know anybody. I'm not. And I was like, it's okay. Just come on, be part of it. And her face just lit up. So I ended up buying her coffee, but that came out of pocket. It was $4.
Yeah.
So,
That's a pretty good expense for an event, right? With 40
yes,
some people.
yes.
And then so what's interesting is that Harvest Spice event. turned out to be a pretty good partnership because the coffee shop is giving back. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got a text message not too long ago. Today's Friday. I got a text message last Tuesday from the coffee shop owner, and the coffee shop is Refined Coffee. It's in Lake Jackson. And she said, "Hey, we're doing 12 days of Christmas. Small, we're honoring small businesses, and we'd like to honor you as our realtor on our Facebook page. Would you be okay with that?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? What? Yes." And so
How many realtors do you think they know?
there's one in the coffee shop.
There's another company in the same building.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I mean, and that's the thing. I was just like, I even mentioned that. I was like, "Are you sure? Like, I don't want to take that away." And she was like, "Girl, no, you supported us. We want to honor you. We want to support you." And I'm just like,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
it was
Uh,
amazing. And that's what I'm saying. When I say unmerited favor, like, who am I? Like, I'm nobody. Like, I don't deserve that,
You
but
do. That is
okay.
not unmerited. I mean, here's the thing. They didn't pick you at random, Megan. They
No.
didn't go, I know 100 realtors. Let's spin a wheel with their names on it and we'll go with that one. And it's Megan. All right. That's unmerited favor, right? You merited the damn favor.
Ay, que no.
You partnered with them. You had an event that drove 1,500, 1,600 bucks to them. And like you said, is that was the most amount of people they've ever had in their coffee shop.
Well, that was the second event. That was the second one.
Okay.
So
So, all
from
right.
Harvest Spice, and the other cool thing about Harvest,
Wait. I gotta finish my dang point.
ay, que no. Okay.
The finished point is if you had not partnered with them in the first place,
Mhm.
a lot of people wouldn't have known about this coffee shop. And this is not unmerited favor. This is what partners do. They're like, oh my gosh, how can we give back to our partner? Not sponsor, not realtor. It's just like they want to help you and support you because of the generosity you sent to them. All
Yeah.
right. So tell us about your second event.
Yeah, so it was so much fun. Well, just real quick, going back to Harvest Spice, what I love about Referco and Gen is they really you guys encourage us to partner with charities. And so I was able to partner with two charities that a lot of people they didn't know who they were. So I partnered with the homeless initiative within our community, and also is called so the first one is the King's Militia, and the second one is River of Hope. And the River of Hope one helps constituents that are tenants that are kind of behind on their utilities, and they help cover those costs. So it was really cool to bring those to light, and just enjoy that. And I had, like I said, giveaways and things that people were able to win that were all local small businesses within the community. Second event.
All right, hold a second. On the Harvest Spice 2 thing, I
Oh,
got to
yes.
add is you have to realize that, you know, let's say out of the 45, 50 people that came, 30 to 40 of them were your sphere. And this is the first time they've seen you with your realtor hat on.
Yeah.
So imagine how impressed they were to like come into this and you have your realtor hat on and you're buying coffee for everybody and you're working with charities and showing your generosity off. You're giving away door prizes, so you made this enormously fun, and you had these sponsor partners who are already bought into you. Well, subliminally, if I come to that event and I'm just one of your friends and I see somebody has sponsored you and your event, I'm like, well, they bought in. I'm her friend. Like, I should totally buy in, and I'm
Yeah.
buying in.
Yeah.
So, what a great launch party for your business to do this. And, kudos to you for making it happen. But what a great first impression for people to see you with your realtor hat on instead of your teacher hat on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I was
All right.
so excited. I got to give a TV away.
Yeah. You don't give away all of our secrets, Megan. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The
Okay.
secret, the secret weapon, the flat screen TV giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All
Okay.
right. Tell me
So,
about the second one.
yeah, second event was wrapping up the holidays with American Realty. So we did that at another local coffee shop that I have just absolutely come to love. Today is their first birthday. So I actually walked in and I sang happy birthday. And of course, the owner, James, turned around. He didn't even turn around. He was like, "Hi, Megan," but it's just one of those things. It's a small town. I love it. And I love their product too. So at this wrapping up the holidays, we offered free gift wrapping.
Hmm.
Free. It's kind of weird because when people hear the word free, their immediate reaction is like, what's the catch?
Yeah.
And what I've learned with Gen is that, or Referco, is that, like you just said, the most well-known person is the most generous person, and it's a foreign concept to give things away, right? So we
Hmm.
offered up to 5 gifts wrapped for free. My mom and I made 160 bows. We didn't have that many people. Next year we're going to do it again.
There
And
you
as
go.
a matter of fact, um,
Well, how many did you have? 50?
so we had no, we didn't have
Or
50. We had I want to well, actually that came into the coffee shop. We ended up having 30. It was like around 30 people.
so what date though? What date did you have it?
It was last Saturday.
So you had it the first week of December, essentially.
Yes, between
How
and we
many
had
people actually have their gifts bought
that
for
was the
their
problem.
people?
That
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
problem.
I
I mean,
like I
people
don't
were
even
like,
have Sherry's gift yet. Okay, I actually do. But it is one of those where,
yeah.
a lot of people don't get, I mean, if it's a man, they're not getting that gift until the 24th,
Yeah.
right? It's
So
just
and
like
they we actually the feed so and I can't give away a secret. Okay.
you
One
can
of the
give it away.
things
Oh,
that we
okay.
received back
Yeah.
was, can you have this later next year? Can you do this later on in the year next year? That was one of the biggest drawbacks that we had from the feedback. So
Yeah.
I did the things that I was taught to do in the thing.
Like
And
the survey?
yeah.
Yeah, we can tell them all about it. Nobody's
Okay.
going to implement it, Megan. That's
Okay.
what I love about telling all of our secrets. We tell all of our secrets, we give all of our good stuff, and nobody implements it
It
except for the people.
works, guys. It
Yeah.
works. I'm
Quit
telling
it.
you, it
All right.
works. It
Uh,
works. So we
I
did the
love it.
survey thing, and that was one of the things. And they said,
Yeah.
can you have this later? Can you please do this later in the year? I had one of the comments was, I had to go buy gifts just so that I can come have the coffee because they had never been there.
Mm,
And so it was one of those things. But my mom and I, like I said, we made 160 bows, but we were able to wrap with that many people. I mean, that was so it was spouses that came with them. So we
yeah.
had 20 people. I mean, you can do the math. It was around 100 gifts that we were able to wrap
Wow.
for free. And we didn't pay a dime, Michael. We paid zero. It was fully sponsored by one of my friends who owns a carpet cleaning company. When he went to the first event and he heard when the words didn't even come out of my mouth. He was like, I've got you covered. Tell me the price. I will sponsor you for the next event. And I just looked
Mm.
at him and I was like, I love you. This is awesome. He
Yeah.
gave me his business credit card and he was like, do what you go, just go get what you need. All the tape, the wrapping boxes, the tissue paper, the ribbon. It was amazing.
And the coffee was paid for?
So the coffee, that was what we're going to try to work towards next year, but they did get a discount.
Yeah, nice. I
Yeah,
love it.
so they got a special discount, but he did tell me, I just want you to know anytime you want to have another event, which we are in February.
Yeah.
But he said anytime you want to have another event, please think of us. Our sales had never been that high during this time of the year
Mm,
as they were that day.
yeah.
So just being
Love it.
able to bring that to the community, I mean, that in and of itself was incredible. And I had one of my clients came and she said, not only are you getting me a house, but you're wrapping my presents to go under my Christmas tree. It's stories like that
Yeah.
you can't put a price tag on that.
Well, I'll tell you what you can't put a price tag on is your joy and your like energy,
Yeah.
a lot of newer agents struggle with where to start and they get depressed very quickly when they haven't had a sale in a month or 2 months, or
I
worse
went
yet, they
three.
don't have a plan,
I
right?
went 3 months without a sale. Call me.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, March, April, May, which, it's tough and you go through those months and then all of a sudden the momentum starts. But what would you say to someone who's just beginning their real estate journey? Maybe they're getting their license and getting going in January. What would you tell them?
Start interviewing your brokerages. And I would stick to what you know that you need most. I knew that I needed structure because that's how I learned. I knew I needed someone that was going to walk through, and they will tell you, I'll just be honest, brokerages will tell you, we will be with you for your first 3 transactions. Okay, well, I had one cash transaction, I had one VA transaction, I had one land transaction. I mean, so each one of those transactions is a different transaction
Totally different. Yeah.
and the process is totally different. So make sure that you find a brokerage that will truly walk you through that process. For someone starting out, I would find a mentor in the brokerage that you're with, or find a mentor that you trust that will actually walk you through those processes. There's the realtor that ended up being my mentor. I think, I don't know what made her, but she went to Kim and she was like, I want Megan and I'm going to train Megan. Megan is not allowed to look at a contract without my eyes being on it as well.
There we go.
So she's, Kathy Peters is my mentor, and she is a legend in Lake Jackson. And I can pick up the phone at 10 o'clock and she'll answer the phone. I'm like, hey, I have this question on this contract. I don't really understand what it means. What's the verbiage of this? And to someone that's getting started, you need to start off on the right foot. Don't even worry about the numbers. You need to understand the process. You need to know the procedures and the process of how to do this and to do it well with integrity.
Nailed it. Very good advice. Any other advice for a newer agent?
Don't be scared to do the awkward. I think one of the first things that I did, it was an idea. My husband was like, babe, you got to put yourself out there. And so I said, he bought me a mic. He bought me like the lapel mics. And I said, you know what? I want to know what people struggle with real estate. So I took one of the other agents with me and I said, we're going to go to Target. We're going to go to Walmart. We're going to go to Academy, and we're going to ask people, do you rent or do you buy? And what are the mistakes that you made? And we literally interviewed people. That was my first reel that I did as an agent. But what I gained from that was understanding how to communicate with people, putting myself out there on the camera,
For sure.
and just being confident and starting engaging conversation with a stranger.
With questions.
Yes.
Right. With questions. That's powerful. I love that.
So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do something out of your norm. Your worst critic is yourself.
Yep. I love it. All right. So if someone listening today is considering maybe joining Referral Mastery Academy, right? We're doing this begin the year special. We're doing some pretty cool stuff with it. What would you tell them about Referral Mastery Academy?
You can't afford not to do it. You can't afford not to. So DoorDash if you have to, Uber, Lyft, whatever you need to do to get the extra funds, because I will tell you, when you're starting out with your own business, you won't pay yourself for at least the first 3 to 5 years. And that's true. Other than your taxes, whenever you get your first compensation, you put your taxes away. But do what you have to do to be part of what RMA offers. And if you can, set aside a little bit extra any chance that you get to get a coach. If it's individual coaching, or if it's like, for me, I love the group coaching. I've met people like Helena. My gosh, she's a saint. But people like that.
Shout out to Helena Jacino, right?
Yes. Shout out to Helena. I love you. But what I'm saying is, when I said before, you will learn very quickly that not everyone is for you. Not everyone is in your corner. And with RMA, everyone that you meet is for you. I even put one of my door hangers on one of these that we did one time, and people were critiquing it with constructive criticism or constructive feedback. And you have to be able to take that, because people have been in this longer. You're not the expert. And even if you've been in it for 30 years, you're going to learn something new from somebody. Be humble enough to recognize that there's something that you can learn. I learned that the only way that we actually feel like we can thrive as human beings is the 3 C's. And I learned this from Myron Golden, but that is, if you are creating, if you are connecting, and if you are communicating. If you're not doing those 3 things, you're not going to feel fulfilled. And that's something that I've stuck with, but that's entwined in ReferCo. You're creating connections and communicating that. You're creating events and communicating and connecting with people. So it's just do what you have to do to make it happen.
Yeah, you're creating connections through communication.
Yes.
So you're actually doing all 3 at the same time. I
all
love
3
that.
at the same time.
Powerful. Well, all right. So Carla Roberdeau, what's one thing that you've learned from her that you can pass along to the newer agents or any agents? What's the biggest, like, what has she taught you?
Yeah. So actually, just earlier this week, we had a call, and I told her, because we were making our plan, right, for the year. These things are golden, like little flash right here. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
But I was so overwhelmed. So I'm just going to tell you briefly what my life looks like. So I've been married for 14 years. I have 4 children. I'm on the praise and worship team at church. We do we do 2 services. My husband and I started a marriage podcast, Hesed Marriage Podcast.
What is it?
Hesed, Hesed Marriage.
Hesed?
Yeah, so
Hessed?
Chesed. It's,
Chesed.
yeah, it's Hesed,
Okay.
it's Hebrew. But
Okay.
so
Sorry.
my husband and I are doing the marriage podcast. I also have my Realtor YouTube channel that will be bombshell fire in 2025. And I lead a D group and I'm a regional leader for D group. I'm also a team leader for D group. So D group is an international Bible study. So for anyone to tell me I just don't have time to do it, you cannot afford to not be part of RMA and to be
Mm,
part of what they're doing here. Because without their structure helping me with my real estate, which is what Carla helped me with, I was explaining to her my life.
mhm,
And she said, Megan, from 9 to 12, you're going to do real estate. From 12 to 3, you're going to do everything else, Megan. But
mm,
from 9 to 12, and for me, that's not, I mean, is it like, for me, it was
mhm.
because I have my mind and my self is in so many different arenas. And for me, I needed to hear that. She was like, chunk your time.
Yep.
So that was a big deal for me.
That is a big deal for anybody listening. We get to be in reactive mode too often,
Yeah.
and what that breaking it down to 9 to noon is it's all proactive. You're going to do proactive stuff during that time, and it kind of frees up the rest of your day instead of thinking, I've got to be a realtor from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes.
instead of a spouse, instead of a mother, instead of a churchgoer, instead of whatever it may be. Well, it's like, all right, you break the day up like that. It's like, well, 9 to 12 is really manageable.
It is.
You could probably fit most of what you need in that time, especially if you're following the yaps. You can
Yes.
you can totally do it 9 to noon a day. You can and get hundreds of referrals a year.
Yeah.
So I love that. And I'm sure the 9 to noon wasn't made up. It was like, it just seemed like, man, you want to be there for when the kids go to school. You want to be there when the kids get home. What we want to do is let's fit real estate into your life versus fitting your life into your real
Into real
estate.
estate.
And
Exactly.
I love that advice. That's great advice for everyone. And everyone here should like, all right, what is your schedule for real estate? Everybody here? That's what you should do right after you listen to this podcast is, all right, what are your hours? Now, for me, it was 9 to 6 p.m., right? 9 to 6 p.m. were my hours. And that's what I worked from all the time. But it wasn't 6:30 or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. It was 9 to 6. And I had it blocked off accordingly
Yeah.
and chunked it down. So that's phenomenal advice. And that's how you take control of your time and take control of your life, right?
Yeah. And that, I
I,
mean, for me, that was a really big deal. Sorry, I thought I heard a knock. That was big for me because I'm so used to trying to get everything done. And like I said, you will get burnt out if you don't have a system in place.
that's right.
And I can't thank what I've learned with Referral Academy, just in understanding how to put that into a schedule. They lay it out for you. They have a daily plan broken down hour by hour, which is what I learned with Carla.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is your daily plan? Do you have your affirmations? Have you had your quiet time? Have you done your first and 10? Have you had your power notes? And I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not because it becomes a procedure and a process and it's effective because you do it consistently.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Are you going to be in time mastery class in January? Are you going to be able to be in
Absolutely. Anything and everything. I'm going to be there.
it? And 30 mornings. I love it.
Yes. Yes.
So, man, I appreciate that. And this was so good. Megan, I'm telling you, like I said, we got to meet again in a year and find out where you are because you are a rising star on a rocket to success, to the stars. And, trust me, this is an unmerited favor. We did not draw straws in RMA to see who got the short straw to had to be on Referrals podcast.
Wow.
You merited this. You definitely deserved it. And this was just this was awesome. I really appreciate you and I appreciate your implementation. So thank you for being our guest here on Referrals podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you in March.
Yay. March is rms25.com. Check that out. Referral Mastery Summit. Make sure there's tickets available. It may be sold out. I do know that we're opening up some new seats for that. So check out Referral Mastery Summit. And then also, everybody, I'm telling you, I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year. I hope that 2025 is your best year yet. Our mantra around here, our mantra at ReferCo and Referral Mastery Academy is rise and thrive in
In
2025.
2025.
And the rise is from how you should respond to fear. Fear is for everyone a reality, but there's another acronym that is face everything and rise. You're going to face challenges, adversity, problems. And listen, 2025 is going to have its things. Just instead of fighting it or running away from it, face everything and rise to the occasion, adapt and adopt and make it happen, and then thrive in 2025. A lot of people don't understand the root word of thrive. Behind thrive, what does it mean to thrive? It means to prosper. And what does prosperity come from? Generosity. A generous one shall be a prosperous one. Proverbs 11:25 gives us a promise we can live every day in our life, is that we can be generous, we can act in generosity, and guess what we're going to get in return? We're going to get prosperity. What is prosperity? It's thrive. So rise and thrive in 2025, everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next episode of Referrals Podcast. See you, everybody.